Christmas is a wondrous time of the year. It truly is merry to see the snow falling down, with the lanterns hanging out on the streets, to the children singing songs of joy from house to house across the entire neighborhood. In my experience, there's always one thing that signifies the beginning of Christmas for me. Nope, it's not the bare months, not the cool weather, and not the start of December. For me, the Christmas spirit manifests actively in the movie Home Alone. I have been a huge fan of the film ever since I was a little kid. It really amazes how a single kid like Kevin managed to prevail against those burglars, and the best part about it is that he had fun. He even did the same thing twice in the second movie and still conquered victorious against the same two burglars. It's like they became arch nemesis to each other. Overall, it was so much fun and it really booms the Christmas spirit within me. But the film is actually more than just a plain movie about Christmas and a kid setting his defenses up. When you look at it closely, there are underlying messages that Kevin teaches us in becoming financially literate, and that's what we're going to discuss in this video for today. But before we pierce right through the gist, I would just like to give you a little disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, so better take all my advice with a pinch of salt, and take only what can be applied to you. I do my very best in telling you the latest information in terms of financial management. But if you're experiencing serious problems, that is the time to seek out services by professionals and experts to help you out with what you're facing. Welcome to the Quantum Wealth, where the road to success begins. Before starting with the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and comment below your thoughts for today's video. I am sure you are a huge fan of Home Alone. I mean, the two movies were just massive blockbuster films that had longevity on our TV screens for how many decades now after its release. And right now, we're going to look into some hidden messages on how Kevin tells us something about financial literacy. I don't want to prolong the agony anymore, so without a further ado, here's lesson number 5, prevention is better than cure. It's really refreshing to see how an 8-year-old managed to defend his home and his life against the two burglars in the movie. He set up a lot of traps and he even managed to fool them into thinking Kevin is a force to be reckoned with. And this makes him indeed a force to be reckoned with. My favorite trap has got to be the one with the spiders, because I just never fail to laugh out loud whenever I see the burglar's face in pure terror when he faced that huge tarantula. But let's talk money. What is it about this scene that closely relates to the world of finance? As I said, prevention is better than cure. In order to take good care of your financial standing, including your assets, cash flows, investments, and other financial entities, you need to have everything prepared and ready. You can never afford to have any losses, so you should lay out every single detail as you venture into more opportunities. For example, when you purchase a loan, then you should have a collateral set and ready, and most importantly, be extra sure that you have the sufficient financial power to pay back the loan in time and in accuracy. Through this, you will not go through any trouble as you are already 2 steps ahead of any tragedy. At number 4, get to know the people in your neighborhood. Well, not literally, but the essence here is that you should get on to the good side of the people that you are close to you. Well, not literally. But the essence here is that you should get on to the good side of the people that are close to you. Kevin was a charismatic kid, there's no doubt about that, and he always seemed to be so kind in front of everybody. This led him to have a huge helping hand when he faced a one-on-one confrontation with the burglars. The neighbor was named Old Man Marley, and he helped Kevin fight off the bad guys, and eventually they became friends with each other. Although such an odd friendship, it's really a wonderful sight to see. This is a trait that you should possess no matter what you do and no matter where you go. Do not go off starting fights or feuds with anybody, because you never know when you're going to need a helping hand. Aside from this, you should build positive relationships with other people so that you are going to have strong connections in building a business or when starting a company. Everyone you know is a potential investor or a partner, so you better stick to the good side of everyone unless extremes happen, of course. Now at number 3, create a plan and stick to it. We saw how Kevin carefully planned out his traps, his interactions, and his defenses against the burglars. And we all saw how it all worked for his own benefit. I mean, after all, he was successful, right? He managed to stay safe despite being a kid all alone for how many days during the Christmas season. And that's because he was strict in following his plans. Just like Kevin, you should also always face any challenges and adversaries with a concrete plan according to the situation. Let's say you are in the process of building a business firm from scratch. Now you will surely be experiencing tons of setbacks, challenges, and other things that may slow you down. But the thing is, you should never back out and just stick to your plan. Your plan should also not be a one-way path, but there must also be other directions like a plan B, C, D, or even more. This way, you get to make sure that you won't be meeting a dead end. Now at number 2, remain calm. Panicking can never lead you great results as it will only create stress, fear, and anxiety for yourself. Sure, Kevin had a short time to panic, but for the rest of the movie, we never saw our main character falter from the continuous attacks from the outside. Being calm will definitely come into play no matter what you face in your life. Whenever you find yourself experiencing losses in your investments or capital, then there's no need for you to panic. As they say, there's no use crying over spilled milk. Instead, learn to move on, bounce back, and do better than the last time. You should analyze your investment a bit better and learn to allocate funds in a much wider sense. Lastly, at number 1, have courage and stay strong. Kevin was a kid. Fact. And he stood his ground against middle-aged men trying to infiltrate his house. And not to mention, he did stand his ground all by himself. I mean, if a kid can do this, then there's no reason for you to miss out on this at all. This is heavily applicable when you venture into new opportunities like pursuing fresh investments or building a business. There's always risk in everything in the world of finance, but what matters most is if you be brave and take a leap of faith. Calculate the risk and have the courage to pursue the best course possible. As you do that, there's just no doubt that success is already well on your way. The future is all in your hands. That wraps up today's video. We hope you find this video helpful, and if you like today's video, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you at the next one.